Do it. Do it.
We live.
Do it.
Tuesday night, talk your face off.
Taco Tuesday. All day. How's it going? Did you freeze?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was looking at the
Just
watchers and there was
messing,
0
just
in the
messing.
watchers, and I was like, did we go?
Yeah, we were a little late. We were chatting offline, kind of about stuff we've been working on behind the scenes,
Yes.
and got a little out of control. Plus, my computer
Yes.
required a whole reboot right before I got down here and on, which I was a little late anyway, but
That's the best.
wasn't preparing to have to do a whole reboot. So,
That's the best.
yes.
Got that package, Tony. I'm guessing you either found it.
David Ferris, I shipped a new one, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
That's how we roll.
Nice. Party time. Excellent. OMG.
Josh
I'm
Martin, what's up?
late.
So there's a lot to talk about.
Holla. Yes.
We're going to keep up with the chat as best we can tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Holla, Harley Davidson, Harley Designs. That was a weird slip.
Yeah.
Because I was actually going to message him before I came on and say I left a comment on his video about 10 minutes ago from the Eagle phone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yep.
I watched that.
I screened my calls.
You have Team Eagle going through and screening your calls.
Yep.
That's what they call it here. They make fun of Russell Wilson. They call him the Team 3, which is his marketing department that goes through everything. So
yeah, I said go ahead and leave your number, or don't bother leaving your number. I won't call back.
That's awesome.
So Eagles, he was one of the first ones to call it out on the Instagram post with a caca.
Oh yeah.
I painted the Eagles on the wall.
Nice.
So there's 3 of them, one on each wall.
Nice.
And they are a Sharpie, like the old school you draw in like elementary with the little V. But then I took a little white blob of paint, dinged it in there. Eagle.
Nice.
My kid's like all like coming up with this plan. Like my son's turned himself into an artist, but he's like got this whole plan of what he's going to draw on there. I'm like, boom, it's done, son. Look at the wall. We're not going to do like an elaborate eagle on top of my spray paint. I need to come up with a name for it and put like a little placard on it, like it's an art exhibit.
I need to get that. See if my mom has any pictures of my room in high school. And I talked about it one time real briefly here, but so our colors were purple and white for our high school colors. So my walls were white, and I did the old school 90s drop effect going down the whole ceiling was purple. And then I did those big like water drops coming off of my ceiling.
Oh, that's so 90s.
And then what was even cooler is I had stellar vision because I had black lights all in my room. So they let me take that paint that you can't see with the lights off, or, with the black lights off. And I painted the Gravedigger mural on the side of my wall by my bed. And then I had a bunch of like spaceships and stuff like that. It was
geeking out, man.
Dude, it was pretty
geeking out.
So, hey, real quick, let's run down this because I thought we might try something a little different. I didn't run it by you. Sorry about it.
But that's all right. We haven't been talking.
So
people don't know we have kind of a little rift between us right now. But we get over it on Tuesdays just for you guys. But
yeah, we do it for the kids.
Yeah.
So we got LMT, monster truck and sling to talk about.
Yep.
I put Machete in there just to kind of talk about it because I watched the video and it looked interesting. So blow money, time slot, and AI is coming for us. And then
your AI stuff was crazy.
So, and then one more thing I wanted to add in. So I thought if we told up front what our show sheet was,
okay,
and then had people comment,
have people keep us to it.
Well, not only that, but have people comment if there's a topic that they want us to hit in the next couple minutes, and then we can
try to get in on it.
Right. So
I do want to talk about one other thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah,
because I finished it at about 4 a.m. last night. Is this Maz Designs cheat code?
Nice. Well, let's just get right into that one.
So
because I think we got a lot to talk about, which is
All right.
good.
This is just a quick update. I have 2 of these. I bought this one. His stuff is really hard to get. It goes up, sells out usually pretty quick after it goes up. So it took me a while to get a chassis from him.
Uh-huh.
My first one came from Owen Rogers, gifted me one at Badlands.
Nice.
And then I waited. He had another release of them, a different material, and I ordered one up. I was able to get one. So got my
Nice.
first one started. It was super easy. I don't know what the hesitation was for me getting started.
It's always like that.
Super easy, except you
Yeah.
have to know to put the links on first, because if you build the whole thing out for design, the links, you have to get to the skid plate, but the skid plate gets blocked on by these boat sides or the sliders here.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to take those off, drop the skid plate out again after I'd installed the motor and everything and built it, and it was looking fly. And then I had to undo a bunch, not really, 4 or 5 screws, 6 screws.
How okay, so what's your body approach and your wheel and tire?
So he has magnet mounts. Don't do it the way I did it. He gives you 6 magnets, but he makes it so that there's an option to do 8 magnets. And that's the option I chose. Apparently, when you do, he supplied 2 different front options, a low one and a high one. And I opted to do the low one as the rear mounts, which should be a single magnet. So I don't have enough magnets. So I got to order a few on Amazon. But
what body were you planning on?
Well, I have this, but another one just got printed up. And these ones slot perfectly into the little grooves he's got.
Little cliffhanger.
Yep, cliffhanger.
Nice.
I did a C10. I've got the high clearance brass Furatech links on here for C10.
Nice.
So I went gold axles or brass because I already had them ready, and they were one of the special edition sets that have the black front form that I got.
That looks good. That's how I did mine. I did the black with the gold on it.
That's because what I sent you. You got special edition, baby.
Yes, they're hot.
The ones that are for sale to people come with the brass diff covers and brass. But there was 10 of them made that have this. And you can't just buy my diff covers because these ones are cut to the axle. Unfortunately, the axle does not just take any diff cover. So you can't get rid of my name on it.
Nice.
I did that intentionally so that you would be stuck running mine.
Well, that's what I joked about, how you just keep me coming, because I tried to buy just a rear axle or whatever it was, and you sent me the pair, and I'm like, dang it, Tony, now that means I have to buy another axle so I could have a matching axle.
Yep. So well, it's because I didn't have a rear only in that, and you're a buddy, so I hooked you up. I hook up a lot of people.
I hear you.
There's a lot of comments already in here, and that's great. And people are talking about TPU, which is something we might be able to talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
As far as for them making their own anti-foams. I just saw a comment about that.
I thought you were going to be making a camera mount or camera handles with your TPU.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about that stuff, but I've got some new fidget spinners.
There you go.
I've been playing around with different models for fidget spinning.
I like it.
With all kinds of different design looks to them.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that a little bit later, and what I'm using for my TPU, because first prints off of it were beautiful.
Really?
I haven't. Yeah, dude, straight away printing off. Every one of them's printed perfect.
I've heard TPU's pretty forgiving to print.
I've heard it's awful. I heard it's the worst, and that's why I didn't do it forever.
Oh, see, PETG is the one I have the most problems with.
Okay.
PETG, and I think I've printed ABS, and I was like, nope. But
the Venom comment is good too. We should talk about that a little bit. I'm very interested in that as somebody who was Venom team driver for several years.
Yeah.
And a fan of their batteries. So,
let's go.
But yeah, this Maz Designs cheat code. He's got V2s of them out now. Mine are still V1. Just I'm slow. I'm behind the game on building them. So
I like the comment about the new trenchers or whatever they were from Little Guy Racing. They're similar to or Trench Kings. Already
These
got them.
ones. These
Nice.
ones.
How close are they to your scramblers?
Well, I got a set of scramblers here.
Yeah, unfortunate. I know. Did I tell you I put scramblers on my dad's car?
And you loved it. He loved
Nah,
it.
he hasn't driven it yet. I
He
haven't finished
loves
it.
it.
But I put.
They're very close, but a bigger tread.
Hmm.
They're square, more squared off,
I
which I
like the
don't like.
square. What?
No, I like the round.
Dude, the square is way more beefy.
The treads are too big. I like more of the little treads.
What are you talking about?
But I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, if I were a copyright infringement kind of an officer, I'm not.
Okay, so
So
that's an excellent segue because I've been meaning to. This is like RC related, but not RC related. So I was playing with that AI stuff because I started watching all these people playing with this AI thing, and
yeah,
me being an
it's
artist,
not
I
a
was
person.
like,
He's playing with the technology.
the technology, yeah,
Yes.
and me being this like artistic person that does a lot of ideation and
A
the
lazy
concepts,
artistic person that wants to let something else do all the work for you.
right?
Go
Okay,
ahead, talk
so
about it.
what's interesting to me is that I'm wondering like
Your job
where's
has
the
just been cast aside, my friend. You are
I
worthless
know.
to the
I
world now.
know.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so
It had to come at some point, but
some people might be scared of that, but I am not because AI can't make that stuff. They can come up with the idea and you can print it
you can
out.
make it 3D.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm
Until
not
they
worried about.
create a 3D printer that'll print metal and cement and mixed materials in about 5 years, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
but until then, you're pretty solid.
Well, okay, so I showed you a bunch of like landscapes that I was working with and I posted up some vehicles that I was working with and my question is like whose is that? Right? Like is it the software company that designed that AI thing or is it like if I execute it is it mine? Like that
Right.
picture is theirs, but if say I draw it again or I make it at a 3D, then
Are
is it
they going to come
mine?
after you for copyright because they designed it first,
Right.
AI wise?
Well, but then you look at it and like my argument is like look at all the Warhol pictures, right? So a like Andy Warhol.
Started with something that was out and then painted over and did his own.
Well, not just that, but the Andy Warhol that I'm talking about are the four different CMYK colors.
Yep.
That's like Marilyn Monroe. Everyone knows
Yep.
that one. So it's Marilyn Monroe, all those four colors.
Beatles.
Now
Same.
everyone did their own appropriation of that. So and it's theirs.
Yeah, it all
So
depends if you copy the truck or whatever or the thing to a T. So they
right,
were
but
doing
that's like
different people.
right,
You
but
just
that
have to change the face of it or the gear shape or whatever a
right,
little, yeah.
right.
Which they've
So
done here. I mean, I was just messing to a degree, you know?
sure. Oh
Like
yeah. No,
copyright
I get
stuff
it.
is so tough.
Yeah.
For
What
tracks,
percent?
if it's even close, they somehow get away with calling copyright and foul on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But for everyone else, if you do just the smallest changes, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's changed 70%."
Right,
You know, like
right.
the tread patterns aren't the same; they're different sizes. This has more cutouts in the centerpiece.
Right.
It doesn't follow the exact same type of like this is a solid piece. I mean, there's differentiated in the way it's done.
Sure.
Um,
It looks better.
Same idea. Like they didn't really carve out the sides of theirs. They notched out the sides of theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, so and the stagger side is different in the way that they staggered them too.
Yeah.
The one on the right of the scramblers is further down. The one on the left of
Right.
the LGRP is down. Uh it feels to me like, hey,
That's
China, can you just make me something of this that's a little bit different that can be
I
my
know.
own?
I know.
It's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to jump on innovative and new and
Mm-hmm.
creating brand new stuff for us. To me, it feels like, can you clone this close enough that I won't get in trouble?
Right.
And that's
It's
just me being honest. And
yeah.
I mean, the stuff that I'm buying is just, I mean, the axles are straight up axial stuff, but in brass. So
Right.
really, it's not different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but I'm just saying it doesn't feel that crazy innovative to me. But it's a little bigger, which people will like. It's a little taller. You
Yeah.
know, if you were to set up the bottoms of them.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of people are. There's been a couple people on there that said that there's been recent findings that you can't copyright AI created
Right.
artwork, but can you copyright artwork developed from AI artwork? Because it's like I tell it like it's like, for instance, it's like if so
There you
any
go.
art, yeah, so any artist Renaissance time, they were commissioned by the church or by a big family, right? The family said, I want this, and I want it to have this and this and this in it. It's just like creating a logo, and then the artist generates the rendering, right? So
Yep.
it's kind of what AI is, but then you can't execute that. You can get it. It's like getting a rapid sketch from
Right.
AI, and then you execute the fine lines, the hard lines
Right.
that we call them or whatever. And
Well,
so it's
taking that to the tire world as well, going back, I'm sure the compounds and stuff are different that you're going to deal with these. So they
oh
could
yeah.
say, well, design's the same, but we have our own strategic compound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely the textures. It's a much thicker material as far as the rubber. That's been my one thing about the scramblers is how flimsy the sidewalls are, especially
Yeah.
where these are a much thicker. I should take the foam out to make it a little bit fairer comparison.
Sure.
Um,
I feel like
but it
far
feels
away.
like a thicker foam sidewall to me, and overall, all of it feels a little bit more rigid. So it's going to be interesting to see. I got these just to see what it was going to be like because my favorite tire, right, has something that might be a little bit better as far as compound, but still getting that tread pattern that I really like as a do it all tire. And I think that's what I like about them is I can go to almost any terrain and they work pretty good. Whereas I put some really meaty lugs on and it doesn't work well in one, but it works well in another. Where these feel like they kind of just they do good in most scenarios, I would say. And so I think that's what I like about them. I can take them anywhere and feel like they perform. I don't know if I blew up the comments with my analogies. I haven't been looking about this being just a kind of direct thing or not, but I don't hear you.
How about now?
I do hear you now. I'm going to go
Okay.
back to the comments and see what people are saying so I don't miss or fall too far
Yeah, I
behind
was
because
talking
there's a
about the
lot.
Max Smasher, how that got taken out,
Yes,
possibly.
Max.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh, I have 40 sets of Trench Kings coming. Do you have 40 cars? No, I'm just kidding. I know
Is that
your
Jeff
store.
Brown?
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Yep. That's cool.
uh,
They look really good. That's all I'm
yep.
going to say. They feel really good too. So I've been playing around with my own TPU inserts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to try them in here and see how they do. But
Nice.
they look like they should be sized right. They were sized for the scramblers. And so as long as these are stretchy enough to get over them, the scramblers were, I'll get them in. But we'll see.
People are saying square's where it's at, Tony. You don't know what
I
you're
saw
talking about.
that, but it's not hip to be square anymore.
I,
2023. We turned
I was
everything on its head, and hip to be square sucks. Round to be square.
I was trying to get the AI to generate and it's funny, the keywords that I was putting in was like Italian beard, max headroom. I was trying to get it to generate like that style. Then I put in like Mexican goatee, black frame glasses, max headroom, and they were just hideous. I was like, "Ooh, can't use those ones for the show art." But instead, I went
That's
with the Halo
hilarious.
S kind of people. Yeah. So what size are those? Are those like the two? What are they? 2.1 or whatever they come in at height
What?
wise? Those Trench Kings
2 point. Well, I
overall height.
got a caliper here. I don't keep track of that stuff. But I do have
Super
calipers. I've been doing a whole bunch of measuring here.
Super
So,
One-Handed says, "Do you plan on selling tire inserts, Tony?"
no.
No, he says Super One-Handed.
These are 2.4 inches, basically, give or take.
It's pretty big.
We go by millimeters, and they are 61-ish.
Ah.
But you can see I've got that insert in that I was doing. So it's got some squish to it, but it's also got like the rigid spots. So it'll almost be like when we used to carve into our tires. That's kind of what I was thinking when I was designing it.
Yep.
Is so that at some point it would have something to grip and pull with.
Right.
And that's when I came up with like the pine tree kind of design.
So nice.
So if people wanted to see what it does,
David Ferris, shots fired. He says, "Are you measuring like how Harley and VP measured the VX2 T2 tires?"
You can see the tree kind of squishing.
What brand of TPU did you print them in?
Sunlu, I think.
Sunlu.
No.
Wow. That's the Amazon one.
Where's the box?
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
Sane Smart.
Oh, never heard that. Where'd you find that?
Well, it's one of them that they have a setting for in the Prusa mint.
Nice.
Or Prusa slicer.
Yeah.
It wasn't the cheap version, that's for sure. But yeah.
Nice.
So it has basically one of the settings that you can choose. So
that's nice.
I mainly got to do some of my gates with, and then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna try a few different designs.
Oh, is that what those gates were printed out of? Those green ones you showed me?
So no, but in printing them, I had stuff on order already. So I tried different things from like a flowered kind of things that I thought would relief on either side, which were too thick. But from the get-go, it always had that kind of point that would eventually hook up and bite.
Yeah.
As it would kind of squish between. And then it went to this was the design, and this has not been cut. But well, no, it didn't go to there. It went to this, which actually has a ring in it still.
Yeah.
But these were, it does push in that middle part, but
they're pretty.
It just felt rigid, and they do roll over like when you push on them. But it felt too rigid to me. And I'm going to take this out before I lose it. And then I came up with this design, thinking it would kind of allow that to collapse like it's doing here and not be such a straight point, but still have a little bit of rigidity and points to kind of push. And it would be either way that you're in reverse or forward, have that triangle.
Yeah.
But I had an accidental make where I made the lines too thin.
Right.
And actually stopped it halfway. You can see it's not very thick because I could see that there were gaps between them. I'm like, well, that's not how I designed it. It's supposed to have a circle ring in there. And then I was like, watching it flex around those pieces. And I was like, oh, hold on. Like, I like that. Because then the second it flexed, it hit that ring. And then it became a little bit more rigid.
Yeah.
But it still was pushing down. So there was like the looser spot and then more rigid, but then you also have this like really soft spot between where it can kind of get in and bite. So I haven't run them yet, but to me it felt like, man, this could be pretty cool because it also folds over. So, it seems like, okay, it's really soft here, but firm here, but you're rolling on that. So you're actually making it push over as you're going, and then it relieves and does the same on this. So it seems pretty... like it could be pretty cool to me. And so this is the one that's a little thicker, the full finished one. And it's doing that, and it goes around. But I cut those myself because I designed it. I went back in and fixed it so it wouldn't be gapped between them. but it felt too rigid. And I'm like, well, I'm going back to the other way. And I cut between them with scissors. I'm going to go and do the same thing with this one and test them out and see how it does. And I'll print off a few more and cut them. And if it works well, I'll actually just go into the slicer software and chop between them and see how it does. But
I feel like you could even play a lot with the wall thickness too, and
yeah,
that'd tune up a lot. Kind of
definitely would tune them. Yeah, it's really soft on the outer part, and I could probably go a little thicker, which I did from the original one.
Mm-hmm.
This one was super thin, about as thin as it'll go, like 0.4. And then this one's like at a 0.6, and it felt a little better, but yeah. Anyway, so I was using SaneSmart TPU on a Prusa.
Nice.
And I downloaded the plugin for it yesterday at 6 p.m. Had to run a firmware update on my printer. And then I literally plugged in the filament, hit print. I'd already designed stuff.
Were you just watching it print? Because you messaged me at 4 a.m. last night, and I was like, "What are you doing up? Or are you up early?" Which one is it?
I was building that Maz Designs chassis, but
yeah,
yeah.
It's like wow.
Anyway, I
just staring at it.
I feel like this could work for me for just something that I can use for myself in comps. But I don't plan to release a bajillion different sizes, and I'm making it for the tires that I run, which is going to be why can't I ever think of the name of the RC four-wheel drive, the scramblers, and it feels like it actually fits pretty good in this LG RP one as well.
You're probably going to run that tire and throw all your scramblers away.
It feels really good. I'm not going to lie. So hats off to them for coming up with a really solid feeling compound. And I know that my buddy Dana was running these and said they were amazing on Thursday and Sunday. So I'm pretty stoked about these.
So, okay, on to the next topic. Let's talk about time slot, because we mentioned this a little bit last week. And I don't know if we mentioned it on the show.
We did. And then I freaked out today when I was leaving my friend's house at 9 o'clock. I was like, holy crap, if we change the time for this week, I'm not going to make it.
Oh, no.
So I pulled up the artwork and it didn't have the time on it. So then I pulled up the YouTube and it was like 11:15. I was like,
right. So my question is, I talked it over with my boss, and she said if we did it, I would have to have a hard stop at an hour and a half.
I think we could do that.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's good, because right now I feel like a hard stop at an hour and a half tonight's a good deal, because I was feeling pretty exhausted after my 4 a.m. night last night.
Yeah.
So
this many's. Okay, so should we do a poll real quick? I'm trying to remember how to do poll.
We have to go to YouTube. I can do one too.
I'm there. Where are the polls?
It's in the comments.
I know.
So Harley, yes, Tinkercad does have dimensions, and yes, I freaking did design it in Tinkercad. I'm amazing in Tinkercad, so it's just showing off my skills. It takes a lot of work to make something like that happen in Tinkercad. A lot. And I'm still working on the tutorials for Fusion, but I couldn't have started that. So what do you want to say? 9:15 or 11:15? Or would you rather start at 9:15?
What are you talking about, Willis? Yeah, so I already got it up on mine.
What time did you say? 9 a.m.? 6 p.m.?
6 PST, 9 EST. I just put it at that. I mean, it would be on the 15s.
I'll just say a 9.
So let's get this. Let's see what the people want, because I think that would be nice, and especially in the summertime, that might be nice.
Summertime.
But that might 9 a.m. The shop says mini RC. I don't think I could do a 9 a.m. LMT question. Okay, so first we'll get to the LMT stuff real quick. Hold on. So time slot. I think if we do it at a hard stop at an hour and a half, and we started at York time 9 o'clock, my time 6 o'clock. We'd be pretty solid. Uh, do you have any concerns about that, or any things that you can think of?
Me, I think it's better. I think
Okay.
that the audience will be bigger. I know friends of mine locally that say they can't do the late.
Yeah.
They wish they could,
Yeah.
but they can't. They watch it in the repeat.
I think
But
so. I
they feel like
could.
they miss out because they can't comment
Yeah.
live.
I think. I mean, so theoretically, I could probably even do 5:30, but I
I
don't know
think
if
it's
that's
too early. I think 9 o'clock is like the golden hour, at
is
least on
it
the East Coast.
okay.
And people aren't technically they're home from work on the West Coast.
Yeah.
At 5:30, they might still be in traffic.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
Harley's
So
probably just getting to work at that point, so
yeah.
he should be able to plug in at either of those times
Yeah. Jeff Brown says 10 p.m.
just to
Le-
throw some dirt back.
yeah. 11:15 is too late for me to stay for long. So it would be starting East Coast time around 9 o'clock p.m. and go till 10:30, roughly. So I think that would be solid, man. That would be awesome. Okay.
Jeffrey Makovich says metal 3D printers exist already. Yes, they do. My brother-in-law has one that at his work that they use. Cement 3D printers work as well already. I was just kind of saying if it could do mixed media between the two.
Okay.
But they definitely work.
So I like what KLN did with the stop sign.
I don't like what he does ever. So
just because I can see the comments that are actually questions, which is nice. I've seen people do question before, do the Q or whatever. Stop signs are cool. Okay, so his LMT question. Let's get into these LMT because
do you want me to go get it?
If you want. So his question is the new TLR tuned LMT the same wheelbase as the Sling King?
Yes, 15. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know, like to the millimeter, but
Yeah.
it's the same basic wheelbase if you look them up. Here's a point of contention I didn't know in all of this.
Oh, there's drama.
There's been drama. There has
Oh.
been the drama has been unleashed.
Really?
It has been unleashed on the world in a way that only RC enthusiasts that are too involved in RC get into the drama.
Lay it on me.
All right.
Change my mind.
So,
Let's fight.
out of the 7 leagues, I don't know how many there are. I mean, of the big ones, only that I could find Trigger King and No Limit RC that I ran in does this truck fit within the rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it because of wheelbase?
Yep. 14-inch maximum.
Oh.
It's 15 inches.
Yeah.
It's already a small pool of people that they're shooting for with that thing.
Yeah.
And it only fits into 2 of the groups. Showtime is 14. New York is 14. NRCTPA that I do the hotel racing thing with in Ohio, 14 inches. West Coast, NorCal, 14 inches. SoCal, 14 inches, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's tough because I like the longer wheelbase because I feel like it scales better. Like just being a scale guy, like I feel like the short.
So you look at the dimensions of a truck though, and they're super wide. Like you look at the overall length and it looks big, but that's not the wheelbase. When you're going like nut to nut or center axle to center axle,
right,
scale wise. But so here's the thing for me, and I love low C TLR. There's some of my favorite products, got me into the hobby. Favorite. And here's the one question I asked myself, because I know people are up in arms in the comments, and I don't know how this is going to come across, but I'm not a guy. I'm not. I'm not with anybody. I'm with people, and I try to always be that way. And so my question is,
do you ask it in third person self? Do you do it like that?
My question is, would Losi have done this to the 2-wheel drive buggy market? Would they have built a race truck for 2-wheel drive that didn't fit in the rules of the competition?
That's a whole different apples to oranges. You're talking international racing scene versus a few nerds
There's
that
no
are into
bodies
monster
that fit
trucks.
it at 15 inches. In the already existing body world, they don't make it for 15-inch wheelbase.
Yeah. It's a big body. So the King Sling and the Boss Hog body are huge. Like they are
Oh, wait. Tony didn't say that. What I'm trying to figure out right now is if TLR were to make a race truck right now for the race leagues, would it fit within the rules so they would be able to sell it to the people racing and
Yeah.
have their drivers race them in all the leagues that they race in?
You know, this actually, it's funny that you
That's
say
my
that.
only question. Like
Okay.
it's like,
So NorCal has a good thing. It says that at least it's a kit and you can modify it to work. So there's that. It's a kit. So you have to
yeah,
take that. The other thing is that Losi kind of has done this in another racing thing that people don't talk about is the U4 stuff. So the
not
Hammer
big
Ray,
enough. This was built for racers. The Hammer Ray was built to resemble a
well,
really
it's a
iconic truck.
they wanted to get it into
But
U4 and the body the wheelbase is way too long for U4 too.
yeah, and I'm not trying to stir the pot. I mean, again, they sent me one. I'm very in love with the truck. I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The actual build of it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
For racing, it makes sense doing the shocks on the trailing arms. It just performs. If they're trying to compete against the freestyle RC of the world and the Warpaths of the world and the black market RC trucks of the world,
Right.
and now Hack Fab has a new chassis they're doing. Like, if they're trying to be in that realm, they've got to. That's what people are doing. They're not going scale. They're going race. But then it's like most of those guys are working within the bounds of what has been established as like a rules policy, and so
Right.
it is a bit of a like I
Do
didn't
you
even realize it because our race league never had that stipulation. But
sure.
when I started seeing that 5 out of 7 of them that I looked at all had a 14-inch,
Yeah.
I would have, for the sake of knowing how small of a niche market a race monster truck would be, I would have tried to fit it within what would sell.
So what would it take? I'm unfamiliar with that
It would take
chassis.
another $50 to $75 to change the links on them.
That's it.
It says $600
I know,
kit.
but I mean, is that like
That's
okay,
all you'd really have to change. The
playing devil's
shocks are
advocate,
awesome.
right? Playing devil's advocate. I would assume that a guy that's getting into that type of kit probably has a set
The
of
only
links
thing
laying
that
around.
makes this stand out over doing something else, though, is that it's easy to just do it. It's all there. You follow the
Right,
directions.
right,
The
right.
second you're like, well, then I gotta find upper links that'll match my lower links. And
Mm.
the other thing is, like, some of them have rules that the front of the chassis has to be over the axles, and this one isn't. The front of this is cut off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which you could extend it. You could just 3D print a
Yeah,
nose to it, not a big deal. But again, it's one more thing that people have to buy to.
yeah.
And so that's me as the guy that has one and didn't get my video out on it because it sucked too bad to post. And I pulled it down when I realized that there was like, I tried to cut it and it was an hour-long cut, but then it just
Wow.
made like the intro into how it all worked. And then I was trying to figure stuff out as I was building it. I shouldn't have made a build video on it when I was rushing to get it done for a video.
Yeah.
I should just cut the front end of it off where I talk about all the new stuff in it. But it's a really, really, really great truck with the caveat you
It's
might
too
not be able to
long.
race it
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
modification.
Right.
So
Well, why don't they just send a bunch our way out here in the PNW and we'll start a whole
just
class for
start a
50.
whole class for it. Right?
Yeah, we'll just go with the
And some
15
people
inchers.
may adapt. It is a good. Now the thing is, at 15 inches, it doesn't turn as well.
Mm,
Granted,
yeah,
the low C axles just turn better than anything we ever had on the market before. So even
right,
at 15 inches, it turns better than most of the trucks that push.
right.
But I mean,
So
again, the LMT is an amazing platform, and I, I I just stumbled upon this the other day where I ended up in one of the groups and I was like, oh snap, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Was
Like,
that
because again, we didn't have to deal with that. Ours just said tire size limits, you know.
was that an immediate kind of like knee jerk reaction, or did it take a couple days
Well,
for
yeah,
them to be
because
like,
the rules, the leagues are having to deal with it. People want to run it. And
yeah.
then like, well, we've already started running our series. How can we just let
So
people run this truck in our series? So maybe next year it'll
yeah,
change. But for people looking to buy right now, will they change it?
right.
Like, does it hurt me wanting to buy it? But
Yeah. So yeah, this is a tune truck. This is the TLR one, Jeff. It's not the normal. It's not like the
yeah,
Kingsling getting out there. So yeah, I mean that I was talking about that in the comments of the Losi post, talking about how people are complaining about the cost and all that. I'm like,
I don't
dude,
mind the
this is
cost. The cost doesn't
no,
bother me.
no, I don't think so. For what you're doing with it, it's anything. Whenever you get
You'll
to that
pay
race
$300
level,
for a chassis
yeah,
alone, no axles, no. So the cost doesn't bother me.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, and that whole, I hear people talk about it with bashing and stuff, but it's not designed for bashing. It's like taking a two wheel, like you said, a 2-wheel drive
so the
buggy and
people
going out and
complaining about
bashing
the
it.
price, I just say immediately, well, it's not for you. Like, if you've ever built a race monster truck,
Right,
you
right,
know that this is not a bad price for a kit.
right.
Um, Again, they're going to buy a ready to run. They're going to just take the axles off it. They don't want the motors. They'll take part of the chassis. They'll get rid of the cage on the top, get rid of the body. All that's extra that they paid $600 for.
Yep.
Um, and so, and then they'll still buy their own electronics and whatever. And so they're still starting at that $600 price point. This thing at a $600 price point is wicked. Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Kallen's asking if they're 17 or 12 millimeter hexes. I thought they were 17.
17s.
So
Or you just do like the Freestyle RC or now Crawler and Customs. Crawler Customs. Have his part here. He's making them now. The drive shafts. Not drive shafts. The Crawlers
adapter.
and Customs. That's his name.
Is he making hex
He's making
adapters?
the hex adapters. It's a hex delete. It bolts right into like the J Concepts wheels, and it just goes straight over the post.
I was
Get rid of
actually
the hex altogether.
I was actually thinking about that for mine because I was thinking about converting the sling into monster trucks, and I've got 2 sets of Renegades on the J-Con wheels, but I got to get the adapters to be able to do that, and I was trying to find a good way of doing that.
Crawlers and Customs sells one where you just take off that hex piece,
Mm-hmm.
you put a pin through it, it bolts it in that the metal piece that is the wheel hub
Mm-hmm.
just slides right over it and locks on. So, but yeah. So for me, the price isn't the issue with the truck. And for me, there's no issue with it for what I typically would run it for, which would have been no limit.
Right.
And then I would have probably showed up at another race and been like, holy crap, what? I can't run this. It's too long. Like I wouldn't have known, right? Because even in no limit, people were taking the mud trucks and just slapping MT tires on it and racing it. It wasn't a big deal. Like because we knew that there's trade-offs, right? You might have a little bit more stability, but you're not going to corner as well.
Right.
So the guys that won at the and were doing awesome at, and not to say everybody wasn't, but the winning trucks at the Monster Jam one that I went to, the World Finals, were shortened even below what was a stock LMT. They shortened the trucks even shorter.
Oh,
so
really?
they turn on a dime.
Interesting.
Yeah, super. And so if you learn to drive and you can use a short wheelbase and control it in the air and on the ground for like takeoff and all that, shorter's better. And they almost should have a like, it must be this long. Like we're limiting how long they can be. We should be limiting how short they can be.
Right.
Like there's no limit on that. That's crazy to me. If we want to talk about rules, like if you want to get all rules about stuff, like how like 14 should be the minimum that the trucks
Right.
can be.
Right. Right. And that's what Kalen said. Longer wheelbase isn't always an advantage.
Flower
Like
pot hexes. Yes, Josh Martin. That's it.
flower pot hexes. I'll have to look for the. I'll look. Remind me about that. I'm writing it down on my little sheet here. Flower pot hexes.
Yeah, the crawler and custom ones are super nice. Aluminum, machined, and I swear that they're on my desk here.
Rules. Tony
There they are.
loves the rules. Crawler and customs.
Right here. Dude's awesome as well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his stuff. Does a lot of the Sen Racing stuff. Videos on Instagram are killer. But yeah, they're the flower pots. Come with all there's a whole tube of the screws and everything you need to do it.
Nice.
So these are $55. Tribute Monster pin drive, truck pin adapters.
That's not bad.
So
nice. I like it. Well, that's cool. So
that answers that was one of the parts of it that we talked about for the rules.
Have you ran it yet?
No, I'm not going to run it in the conditions we have right now. It's too nice a truck.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have a stock system to put it, and I think that the truck's too nice for that. I need to do a censored system. And so I'm going to go try to pick one up or find a truck to steal one out of.
So how much fun was the King Sling in your muddy backyard?
Amazing.
Dude. Like I keep on trying to like elaborate. Like it's one of those trucks that not everyone has, and it's so much fun when you get two of them together, but they are such a fun truck to drive. And on your video, you talked about it. Yeah, you have to kind of drive at scale.
Only the corners. Yeah.
Only the corners. Yeah. But that thing launches straight. It's so there's a comment.
Scale looking super. And there's a little bit of a start, like that initial.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like the lift it gets when it starts, like how it just kind of sits up and goes. Oh, it's so rad.
And those NAR bars, dude, those saved my butt this past week.
Yeah.
So I cut a bunch out of that video to make it more watchable. But I was doing laps where I'd go up the mud pit, hit the jump, go up across the little berm we have there, hit the back of the corner, jump into the track, hit the next two jumps in a row, circle around, come straight back up. Without crashing, I did it like 20 times, just over and over, just so much fun. But the best part is that straight line, like we come to a stop, and then you just watch the mud. Like it was, you could see it was ruddy and kind of like firm. It's all clay. It was a nightmare to clean up. It's like straight clay. Right. But at the end, when it was done, it was like this really loamy clay, like tore up. It just tore up everything. Those tires are vicious to a yard.
They are. When I ran it back this summer in our backyard, there's a certain level of power to turn ratio that you can do if you got a berm, like you were talking about. And it is like, it's so sweet when you get it just right. Cause it's like the body, it doesn't twist, but it just plants and launches out. And, but it does. Oh man. After I was done doing it, it was like rut city around that thing just from pounding into it, but it was a lot of fun.
I've really become a fan of the sand for building stuff.
Yeah.
It's way more forgiving in every single way, from rain to it just doesn't get all lumpy and wash away the same way.
Well, that's what
the shape just lasts forever.
That's what I have.
Cool when you hit it and you see the cloud of like sand when a truck gets the jump.
Yeah. We have in our backyard, that's what I have. I have a 60-40 mix of sand to topsoil. And so it drains really well and it doesn't get too clumpy, but it gets that loam to it when you beat it up over, and it's got like hard pack underneath it, which is awesome because it packs down the dirt really well. I love it.
All the jumps that I have that are sand have stayed like all through winter, everything through rain, everything that was clay. It just starts to like erode and kind of wash away, and it's really, really rough, and you constantly are working with it.
Yep.
I thought the sand was going to be a nightmare after I had it delivered. Like it was fun, but I'm like, this ain't going to last. I'm getting more sand to put over there. It's insane to run on. Like it's a little bit of a mess in the cars to work with. Like it gets inside, but
Everything. Yeah.
totally worth it for like the maintenance side of the track. It's way easier for me to blow out a car than it is to constantly be maintaining a track.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten all the stuff growing out of the sand that I get out of the clay.
Yep.
It doesn't get like hard stuff in it. So yeah.
He's saying, what motor do you run in the mud truck? It's just stock. Right? I don't know
Yeah.
what is it 3650
It's
or
new.
something?
It's not the 3100 that they had or the third.
It's bigger, I thought.
It's bigger, yeah.
I thought it's like a 34 or something like that. I don't remember. I only run it on 3S. You can run it on 4S. I actually run it on 2S every now and then, and it's still boogies. Like it's more scale.
It's actually a lower KV because it's running 4S.
Right.
So
are you running 4S in yours? I don't run 4S in mine.
I didn't run 4S because my 4S battery pooped out on me.
3150.
So it's probably running a 2100 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
20 something, but
it's rad.
Yeah. So this is what I had for I love this system for the LMT.
Yeah.
I don't know that for a race truck I'd put in it, but
yeah.
I mean, I race my LMTs with this and it's fine, but for bashing, it's amazing. The 130 amp. And I was going to put it in there because I had it because I have a roller I never finished. Yep. That's the life, baby. Don't have time to finish a roller.
I know.
So I have this, and I actually have the same system I put into the monthly mayhem build.
Oh, nice.
So I'm actually going to leave these ones sealed up.
Yeah.
Steal it out of that truck, drop it into that one.
And let it
potentially, if I don't find a better system.
Yeah.
And at least run it. But it's not going to give, like, for a race truck, when you're really going to feel it is when you have that censored system and you have that smooth start power that you're really going to feel all of the beauty in that build.
Right.
But they stepped up some of the stuff. I want to ask them if they added any more plastic on the underside of the axles. I love what they did with the larger screws for the knuckles.
Hang on a second.
And like the toe blocks. They're 2 millimeter now instead of 1.5s, which is amazing. 2800. No, 2100 kV for the 4S.
I'll be right back. I've been summoned to get a stuffed animal. It's on the couch down here for the kids to go to bed.
Throw it up. All right. I got it.
Hold on.
All right. So we're seeing mini LMT. I would love a mini LMT. Would be amazing. NorCal says you're still dropping a few hundred on wheels, tires, whatever. If you really want to race, can make it legal and work with whoever is running the race to make it work. I agree. It can be done. It's not as easy as just off the shelf into it, which is a bummer because the links are really beautiful. The lower trailing arms. Jeremy Smith, I need to talk to you. I need to send you some stuff for sponsorship for the World Finals. And I haven't heard squat from the people about the Texas documentary at all in the last 3 weeks, and we haven't gotten our contracts yet. So who knows? Maybe I will be able to go to the World Finals in Virginia, North Carolina.
Nice.
But yeah. So I'm seeing some it probably turn better with the shorter wheelbase too. I agree. Black market RC conspiracies.
A lot of people saying the 24 LMT would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not trying to harp on low steer TLR. It's just one of those things where after I found out, I'm like, well, yeah, why? Like, there's only so many leagues, and this is being built for those guys that wanted it. Why didn't we look at it? Like,
well,
or talk to them ahead of time and say, hey,
yeah,
we're working on something. If it was 15 inches, would you guys change some stuff? Like that's kind of to me, like they've got influence, and I know they don't want to out their products, but
right.
At the same time, they don't have to say exactly what they're working on.
Well, and I also think that they kind of left the door open saying, that's limited based off of what the market says. If the market says, let's get this down to a 14-inch wheelbase, then I'm sure they would. I mean, that's an easy.
But from an aftermarket standpoint, like they want to sell those trailing arms separately.
Sure.
They want to sell these parts that have been made for this,
right?
Like those metal pieces and stuff that are going to work with.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like with Element and stuff like that, they do that for the wheelbase, where it's like they just say, "Hey, we're gonna expand the wheel. Here's the long wheelbase kit. Here's a short wheelbase kit, and you buy the kit, and then you can do whatever you want." It's a Swiss Army knife. So I think as long as they have that kind of planned into it, it would be all right. I'm getting a lot of feedback, Tony. Am I hearing it on? I don't know if everyone else is hearing that.
I don't hear anything.
All right, I'm getting echo.
My sump pump is going off over there. It sounds pretty good. Sounds like somebody's having diarrhea in the closet, but
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I just checked the poll, and it says 92% are saying yes for
9
early start. Yeah,
I agree. No, just kidding.
I know, right?
Holly says, I doubt they will adjust the design. They'll just kill this cube. They're not going to. They're made. Like there's, they were making it sound like depending on how well this did, if they would do more of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like maybe it could have done better if the racers knew that they could buy them and they could race them. Like that's all I was saying. And I'm not trying to be the stink in it, but from a standpoint of somebody trying to sell a product, which I now do, for those of you who don't know, you can go to ccxrc.com right now, spend about $120. It'll make my pockets bulge a whole lot more. Have you seen that guy on YouTube that wears that big prosthetic butt thing? Have you seen him?
No.
Oh, dude, you should look him up. So he does like this.
No, I don't think I'm gonna type that in.
Well, don't type that in. In the comments, let me know if you've seen the videos. He's like a famous TikToker, Instagrammer, YouTube shorts. Hails out of Grand Rapids, I found out. So there's that as well. Didn't know that, but I had to look this guy up and ask, what is this guy's deal? But he does these things where he does Zoom, while riding a bike, like he's checking into a work meeting, but he's trying to just be in a meeting, but he's riding a bike with this green screen behind him on the handlebars. He did one golfing. He did one in boxing, like a boxing match or kickboxing or something. And he's wearing this huge computer thing in front of him. He's just getting jacked left, right. Boom, falls down. Anyway, funny stuff. But he wears this huge butt bubble thing. So he does all these other videos, and he's just wearing this butt bubble. It's kind of his thing. And
that's funny.
Hate to admit it, pops up in my feed. There we go. There we seen him. Seen it. Yes.
That's awesome.
I saw him dunk a ball. Right. So he wears these tight, khaki shorts, butt bubble. Funny videos, it's all comedy stuff. But so Manscaped reached out to me about sponsoring, and then a couple other companies, and one of them sent me his videos as somebody that had done one of the here's what it would look like. And I watched it. I'm like, okay, that was interesting. Then I watched another of his videos. I'm like, what in the crap is this? That butt can't be real. And so I Googled the rabbit hole. Grand Rapids. Graduated from our school 15 minutes away from me. Grand Valley State, went to their school. That happened. Yeah. Anyway, all of it came out of a stupid Manscaped thing that I was trying to decide whether or not to apply for. But
that's awesome.
So anyway, again, ccxrc.com for all of your 124 scale shopping needs, as well as Ascend Racing on-axle servo mount that makes your truck 100 times better than it was out of the box. But
speaking of your store,
butt bubble, I have that.
Gut bubble.
I don't have the butt bubble's growing not at the same rate as the butt bubble or the gut bubble, but it's trying to play catch up.
Yeah. Harley, what kind of kg does the micro servo have to have for the overdrive and the dig on the VFD transmission?
Also, something that Harley completely missed out on in his review of the LMT on his not review but news special on it
New
is that it
special.
has larger ball bearings as one of the new features.
Massive.
Massive ball bearings in the axles. Third member has a new larger ball bearing input as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Jeremy Smith, sway bars for Micro Monsters. Guess who makes them? CP3. Does anybody know who CP3 is? Charlie Pauken the third.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Pauken of Gravedigger Monster Jam
Yep.
fame.
Yep.
So yeah.
Thank you, Harley. 150
Yes.
to 200.
King of RC has a gut bubble as well as I do. So there's that.
Okay, so
Let's talk about you for a minute. You have a lot going on.
yes and no. Tomorrow's good. I've been on Mr. Mom duty. I was there today. My son's sick. My wife went into work at the school, so I was like, and I've been grinding it pretty hard at work, so I finished a bunch of stuff. So I was like, I can stay home today. I worked on Saturday, so I was like, yeah, I'll stay home. But I'm gonna stay home again tomorrow. So I started working on a bunch of stuff here at the desk, obviously, and while he's just kind of hanging out on the couch. Luckily, it's not anything big. It's just a cold, just like tired, laying on the couch, wanting to play video games all day.
Maybe it's a tumor.
I know, right? It's not a tumor. But because I finished some projects, I got a little bonus, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it.
What kind of a bonus?
Just a little bonus, just
Oh, money bonus.
Yeah. So I'm like, and it's not very often that
this sounds like a poll that needs to be set up.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here are some things I'm thinking of. I'm thinking about putting it into the backyard, right? Concrete, some display stuff, and making like going over the top of the backyard.
Nah.
But I've got enough trucks right now. And I've got like the one thing I was thinking of is another
servos.
Servos.
Always need more servos.
I know. Always need more servos. I know. Those are the ones that are like I can't get.
Because you need like 10 of them for the Vanquish, right?
I know. Like I wanted to run a servo winch in there. And I don't know how to do that with.
I sent you a servo winch.
That's for your truck, though. But
does mine need it?
It'd be cool if yours had it.
Oh, okay.
Upgrade your truck's bearings finally. I could do that. So I was thinking about getting another TRX4M.
I think the Vanquishes would have bearing envy of Losi if they saw the new LMT. I'm just saying,
dude. When I
should be a build off. You guys should do a build off monster truck.
I think there's probably
limited edition
2 pounds of bearings in this Vanquish that I just built easily. There's so much bearings in here.
It's not about how many; it's about the size.
There were some. I was surprised with the girth of some of these bearings. I was like, wow, that's a lot of bearing for a crawler. So, but I'll take it. So okay, so an option is a TRX4M, and then convert that into a monster truck for my kid. But then I'm like, I don't want to get something for my kid with my bonus, right?
Nah, they get enough like birthdays and Christmas and Easters and stuff.
Right? But then we could race each other with a TRX4M, so there's that. So I'm like, there's that.
Make it slower.
Make it slower.
He's got skills that you don't have.
I know he does. I've got a couple builds that I'm working on that I could probably make dressed up, but I
would put your money into my build.
Maybe I will.
That's what you should do.
Well, I got this glued together, and I'm thinking I'm gonna just build it to sell it. So this is my pre-runner Blazer, and I'm going to do a beam truck with this, and with all ball bearings, so Harley knows. But I think I'm going to build it to sell it, so I don't want to put too much nice stuff in it. You know what I mean? Like just takeoff stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. You're used to Element and their teeny 5x10s. I know. You had some like, I don't know how big they were. They were massive. They were like 5x14s or something like that in this. Thanks, David Ferris. So the other thing I'm thinking about doing is kind of going ham on the scale aspect on some of these trucks.
Yeah.
And just kind of putting some details at them just for fun. I really kind of want to do the backyard stuff though.
You should do a little bit of everything. Buy a servo and throw the rest of your backyard.
Yeah. I feel like I need a motor ESC combo and a servo. I just hate throwing money at servos right now. Like I kind of want to do a 4-car system where it's like I got electronics and everything that I really like for 4 cars. And that's it. But then, so I'm looking at what's on the chopping block. I think I'm going to finish that black market chassis that I have with the blue body on it.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to flip that. I don't know what kind of market it is, but
was it SMT10?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a hard thing. I don't know what the market is for that. Probably not very high for what's in it.
Not for how awesome it'll be.
Right.
But for somebody that wants to get in and have an awesome race truck for a steal.
Yeah. Yeah.
SMT10. The only problem is parts. After if you break stuff, that's axles are a little hard. It's the axles that are hard to get parts for.
Really?
Currently, yeah.
Oh, I guess I haven't looked, but I haven't seen any issues trying to, because they're all Wraith parts, AR60 stuff.
Which is even getting harder to find, unfortunately.
Yeah. So there's that I'm thinking on the chopping block. I've got it's funny, I was mentioning my daughter has a crawler, a Gen 8, and she was telling me I could sell it, and then I was telling her about getting it ready to sell, and she's like, well, let's keep it for a little longer. I'm like, all right. So
it's just a little bit, Dad.
I know. So I got that, but then I got like a couple different build projects that I could do. And I don't know, like, if I just build those projects out.
What would you do for the builds?
So I've got this beam truck build that I want to do.
Right, which we need to also talk about the STX6 beam project.
Yeah, I need to do some artwork for that. I keep on.
We need to get the final funds of that.
Yeah, I need to build it.
The AR60s are dying fast, as I almost said Pablo.
Yeah,
Josh.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They're not kind of going with that anymore, and the aftermarket is even kind of fizzling.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
so I've got the other thing I've got to make a sand rail out of my DR10. Another one. And I think what I want to do is a square body truck, sand drag truck. But again, I'm just doing that for the flash of it because I'm not racing sand drags here. You know what I mean? And it's just, I want to do it for Scale Metal Supplies, but what do I do with the truck after that? Do I sell it? You know what I mean?
It's we run them. We got to find a place to run them.
Yeah.
I've got sand here, but you're not here. So you got to figure that out.
Yeah. I'll trade you for a Mojave. How about that? Still have my eyes on that Mojave.
Yeah. I got extra bodies and stuff. It's actually one of my favorite bashers.
Yeah. Well,
wicked good.
I really want to get a UDR. And so I was thinking about selling
for
my
scale,
Mojave.
yes, but for runability, the Mojave is insane.
Yeah. No, I agreed. So I don't know. And then okay, so here's what I got for like my scalers. And I don't think I'm going to do anything to this level anytime soon, aside from yours, because yours is like the marquee one for the beginning of summer.
I sent you the right size tires, which is.
You want to see it?
I do. I haven't seen it.
Hold on. You're going to want to go wide on this in a second.
Okay.
Hold on.
I just cut these out. Look at how good those look. I may have struck accidental gold with this design. I'm actually really loving it. Okay, full screen him.
Hold on, let me get my ears on. You there?
Yes.
So the body's just floating on it right now.
Oh man.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now imagine that with all the
wicked cage on it.
Yeah, all the glory of the cage. Look at those wheels, dude.
Those wheels look sharp.
Yep, those are the ones that
Spec RC killed it.
Those are the ones that need to go on it for sure. Look at those tires.
Baja Pro.
Yep. So
1.9s, not 2.2s.
Right.
2.2s are going on. Oh, I have something new to tell you about too.
So that's going to be done soon. Well,
how about the videos for it?
The video? What do you mean for the video for it? Of how to do
You're
it?
working on videos on it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No. Are you gonna wait till it's all done and then release them?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're gonna do a run video with it, right?
I don't know. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of want you to get it dirty. You'll do better justice for the video than I will.
I mean, yeah, my terrain's so much better than what you have there.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when I get it all done. I'm waiting on some parts from Scale Metal Supplies. Andre, get them to me.
So, he was here earlier.
I know.
I don't know what happened. I found my T-shirts from him the other day.
Yeah.
They were in my USTE bag. I don't know how they got in my bag to go to USTE, but
Josh will like this if he's still in. Should I show it?
Yeah.
Where I'm at with this?
Oh, just a little bit. Just a teaser. Lower. I wouldn't show everything. It's too much. Think like HBO looking through the filter of scrambled HBO. A little lower.
Back and forth. Flip the channels back and forth. Back and forth. I never did that.
You can do more than that. Like show the top of it. Just don't show all the wheels and everything. Show the.
I just showed the wheel.
No, just hardly. Just show the top part, the paint, like the head of it. Well, that was not. Choice of words, not good. What? Two-tone.
Yeah. Just the tip.
Yeah. How about that?
So I think between this truck and my Lazarus truck and Frankenwagon,
you have some awesome rigs.
I don't need to go too crazy with
That'll be your lighter truck, I think, unless you go nuts with it. But
bro, this thing's pretty heavy. I was surprised how heavy this was. It's all the
bearings. Lower than it's all the bearings. Yeah, they're pretty heavy. A lot of metal bearings.
I was thinking about doing the Knights Customs overlanding kit on it.
Yeah,
I was looking at that, but so
your 3D printer needs a workout,
bro. Dude, the thing is such a tank, right? Like, think of it. I printed your body. I printed this. This thing's a tank, dude. This thing is
that is thick. Awesome looking. It's so cool looking.
This thing is. So, can you go wide on this real quick?
Yeah, like what's with the one body panel? It's a different color.
Well, here's the thing. When you're printing stuff like this, that takes 2 days to print just one piece. Sometimes
you change your color.
Well, sometimes you get scared that you're going to run out of filament when you're not at the shop. So I'm like, I'm just going to switch to a new.
You're going to paint it anyway.
Yeah, totally. And I've got some boo-boos that I got to fix, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, you can see the rear end, how it's wide panel or wide bodied.
Yeah.
So
that's insane.
So that's going to be.
Front end looks so good on it though.
It's pretty dope.
So
I'm pretty excited for it. And this one's printed really thick. I mean, it's probably 3/16 thick all the way around. But it's because I planned on just running it without an exo cage, obviously, and just a interior cage on it. But that's the one that I'm gonna do a beamer, the beam
And
front
sell
end
it.
to it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it'll be a cool truck. I'm gonna run those small tires on it. I'll run it and take some good video of it, and then just be like, on to the next one.
Sonic Moto says I run a heavily mod slash thing is a beast. Yeah, something like that underneath that would be insane with an I-beam.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was just going to do trailing arm scale, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like kind of like use the element trailing arms and then do scale. The sound of crashing PLA will be heard for miles. Yes. It'll be like snap, snap, snap. Dude, this stuff is super strong. I run it on all my bodies and I haven't broke a body yet. So
oh, that's funny.
This is high strength PLA.
I'm gonna try building some of my mounts out of this, like the servo mounts, and just see what happens. Just test it.
Make a servo saver out of it. Why not? You're like, don't do it, Tony. Don't do it.
I don't do servo savers like that. I do the freestyle RC or nothing.
I know.
Which I'm sad about since they're not
okay.
Company.
So I need some closure to this. What do I do? You're saying
I would do track stuff. It's gonna have a longer payoff over time.
Yeah.
Than an RC. And I hate to say that, but dude, I'm in that boat of I was telling my wife this weekend. Like, I'm overwhelmed now by the amount of RCs that I have.
Yeah.
To the point that you don't run them.
I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm getting there. Because like right now we have 5 monster trucks between just me and my kids. And I know that's like, you're like, those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those up. But
well, even with batteries, like you get so many batteries, you get so many different, and it's like, it's so overwhelming that you don't even, when you only have like 5 trucks total, it's easy to be ready to go at any moment and know which one you're going to run. They're fixed, they're working.
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just going to the garage right now. The Raminator's up on a table, tore open.
Yeah,
I need to order $250 of axle parts for it to get it back running. I've got fixes for like my favorite one, which is the Arma 3S, the Big Rock. It didn't break, but I stole a transmission from it when I was trying to do that 4th of July video.
Yeah.
And I've never fixed it. I have a new spur gear and all that to install. I just now things are pieces. And I'm like, what do I have all the pieces to put it back together? Have they gotten lost now in the garage?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you just get so many that I mean, if you could freaking see my desk of stuff like here of just like trucks and things like everywhere. Like there's 3 different cow RC mats, and some of them have axles or tires that are wheels being put together, crawlers and customs parts for builds. I mean, like, then you run across the desk and you've got controllers, and like I went to run the Defender. I got it, the Operation 11 Charlie scale rat, awesome Defender custom camel trophy truck thing. Not trophy truck, camel truck and Defender. And I couldn't find the radio for it because there's just freaking radios everywhere.
Yep.
And I've got 8 of those Traxxas ones here.
That's the other thing.
Like, did I trade out the wheel handle? Because I remember making it a one-handed steer, and it's like,
that's the thing.
I'm usually right on them, but
I have to get that I keep on procrastinating on are receivers. Like I need a couple more receivers, and I'm just like, I hate buying stuff like that. It's like receivers and servos. It's just servos are nice. Receivers are those things where it's like, who cares, right? It's like it's just a necessary part to run the truck, but it's like,
yeah. And I don't know. I feel like the more that I've gotten, the less that I run them. And it's like I have a Bog Hog I've never opened the box on.
That's crazy.
So
He says
I
you
don't
need a
label
label.
maker them. I have a silver Sharpie and I just write on the back of that stupid thing. I don't care. I was all fancy at one point and I got
Yeah.
over that real quick. It's just like, let's Sharpie this and let's go. Like,
Yeah. See, I couldn't imagine like those, like the way you have it with the RTR controllers. That would drive me crazy. Like I rip mine out right away and I do all of them on my uh, GT5 on my, and so that's why I have to buy
well,
receivers.
I've got like 70 of the Spectrum receivers in trucks.
Yeah.
I have 3 of the ruggeds filled with
That's crazy.
trucks at 20. And then
Yeah.
I've got a DX4 Pro. And then I've got some of them running the stock ones that are, I mean, there's so many stinking things.
Yep.
But Silver Sharpie, I don't care. When I sell them, I got over that like real quick. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't about it looking pretty anymore. Like, there's
Right.
other
Right.
things that are going to take away from the value of the truck.
And most of the times when we're selling trucks, we're just getting rid of it. Like we're not trying to make money off of those
Nah.
trucks. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
just don't even bother selling them because the people on Facebook that ask me to come and look at it are so scary
yeah.
that I would never meet them anywhere, even at a
Yeah.
police station. I don't want to meet them at a police station.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, here you go. I did your job for you, police. Take this guy away. He's definitely stolen some car stereos that he's trying to trade me right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, or bicycles or whatever. It's always a bike, like some kind of BMX bike or a car stereo that they want to trade you for it. And I'm like, not a chance, dude.
Yeah.
So I bought a bass guitar this past week. I don't know if
Yeah.
I told you.
No.
I got the Music Man I've always wanted,
Uh-huh.
punk rock bass guitar, and I bought an amp used.
Nice.
So I could get a 200 watt, awesome $1,000 amp for $200 used, but it's like painted white for some reason. But in Michigan, in our county,
Casey Neistat action.
very much kind of a Casey Neistat sunglasses.
Yeah.
They can't sell it for 2 weeks. So I had to put it on layaway. I haven't done layaway in years. That's something new to me. Like,
Was
hey,
that like at a pawn
you can
shop
buy it
or
and put it on
something?
No, it's at Guitar Center. The used gear they can't sell in our county in case it's stolen. They have to have time for the people that whatever
Wow.
to find out, or the police or report to find it and come to them and say
I thought it was like
that it's stolen.
I thought it was like Los Mariachi, how they had the rifle and the guitar case in that
Oh,
movie. You gotta wait for your clearances to go through.
no, but so it's so that it's not stolen, and so that's a
Yeah.
fingerprint the people that bring it in
Yeah.
and sell it to them. Wait 2 weeks to make sure that it's clear and nobody's looking for it and coming to the police and they're looking for this stolen guitar or amplifier or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a like a waiting period on used items that are like pawned items before they can sell it.
Sure.
So there's a sticker on it. And I'm like, what's this about? May 8th or March 8th? So tomorrow I get to go pick up my 200 watt 12-inch speaker for my bass that I picked up. Not a bass guitar player. I learned to play it when I had a broken collarbone from BMX racing in high school.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play the guitar. I couldn't do the chords anymore.
Yeah.
And still was trying to do lessons and all that and keep learning. But I was like, man, I'm gonna get the bass I always wanted. And so I've been playing bass like nonstop.
You're gonna
YouTubing all these cool videos. Bass Buzz.
I was gonna say the Primus handbook.
Dude, Bass Buzz is awesome. I actually want to implement some of his video techniques to RC.
Nice.
Very, very good.
So speaking of RC, back to RC and video kind of action. I had an idea, and you're probably going to validate this. So like for instance, this truck that I teased, there's things that I want to do to it, right? So there's so many things I want to do to you right now.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say.
Just looking at it. So I'm just looking at it right here, just touching it. Anyways, so what I'm thinking of is, getting it ready to go, running it.
That's a hard body, right?
This one?
Yeah.
No.
The one you're selling? No.
The one I'm talking
Oh,
about.
the Vanquish.
Yeah. The
Okay.
Vanquish isn't hard body. Yeah, no. But what I'm thinking about doing is like I could put the electronics in it, not put the servos in for all the actions for the trans and all that kind of thing. Make a run video, make a video of me upgrading the servos and doing the functions of that. Make another video of a light kit, make another video of the overlanding kit, and just kind of like bleed out that truck. Cause like, for instance, I never did that kind of stuff with these other trucks because I wasn't doing YouTube stuff. And I've kind of like slowed back from YouTube because I've been kind of not really, but like,
As it's growing, you're like, just cut back.
No, well, I'm
Doesn't
kind
hurt
of
the algorithms at all.
I'm trying to figure out like how to plan it better because like I'm looking at it and I don't really think that for what I'm doing, 2 videos, 3, because it's like this video and I did one other long form video or whatever a week. I thought that
Dude,
was
you got to
pretty
go
good.
more with the just long form, just go for it videos too. Just roll it like you did on the one where it's like 2 cuts, 1 cut, 2 cut.
That's what I want to do, but I got to
Yeah.
get things to a certain point before I do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the reason my low C video is not done yet, 1,000 cuts, hours long.
Yeah.
And then you got to watch it back. And as I'm watching it back, I'm like, got to fix that, got to fix that, got to fix that. And I'm like, how am I going to fix that? And then it's like, now I've got to watch an hour video again and make all these changes.
I'm doing analysis
be
paralysis
talking
right
days.
now. Yeah, I'm in that paralysis stage right now because I have probably 3 videos edited. Here's my thing I kind of ran into. I have 3 videos that are edited that I just need to voice over real quick. But they're all like on the bench videos because the weather's been so crappy out here lately. And I'm like, no one wants to see video after video of something that everyone's already seen before. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I've been trying not to do that. So I'm kind of
even I think about like the LMT one, you got to think about payoff, right? If it's a limited run truck, how many are there? Right. How many people would watch this video of me building this thing?
Right.
How many people would buy this that don't know how to build it using an instruction manual that would need to watch a build video on how to build this?
Right.
Is it worth my time to go back and really fix all of the things that I rushed through? Because I wasn't actually intending to make a video. I started just like for the sake of doing like time lapse of it. And then I was talking as I was doing it. And then I was like, well, I guess I could make this a video. And then I just decided to go for it. But I'd already like not done a good intro into getting into it at the beginning, especially with the shock parts where there were some issues and questions about O-rings and different things in the manual and how to address that. So I guess I could voice over it. But again, you go back into it and you're like, is there payoff?
Yeah, no. It's a lot of work for that. Yeah.
There's not payoff for that.
Yep. Monster Madness asks if there's a difference between the Bog Hog and the King Sling run-wise. I've only ran one, so I don't know the difference, but I didn't see that there was any difference. Except there's one.
Everything's the same. One's orange. One might break easier. The rear ends of the Bog Hog might snap off easier than the King Sling.
I don't know. So I haven't seen anyone put those gnar bars on the Bog Hog. So I don't know if that would work or not. I'm assuming it would.
I've got some. I've got a Bog Hog. And I got some wet ground. I think I need to run that truck.
Yeah.
How many people want to see the Bog Hog get muddy?
I do. So Mir Deef, how do you say your name? Because I was talking to you. So let me shout him out real quick.
Wait, is it Deef or Deep? Like DEEP or DEEF?
I don't know.
Deef or Deep?
Let me shout him out real quick because I reached out. I saw him comment on something of mine on Instagram. And then I saw his account because I was like, oh, this guy's on YouTube, right? So I clicked on his account and he does some sick like graffiti tattoo work.
Oh, okay.
And so I asked him, I said, hey, I'm planning a full on, I didn't tell him the name of it and I'll leak it out now. So I talked about doing the alien crash kind of area in my backyard and I'm calling it Area 51 instead of Area 51. Going with a sombrero theme. 51. So I asked.
You're deaf, by the way.
Okay, there it is. So I asked him if he would be interested in creating some graffiti because I'm making hangers, like old hangers that and so he did some graffiti work that says Amigos on it, and one had like an alien on it. Looks super dope,
Super
dude.
good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Now I
take
know who I
those.
go to when I want some really cool graffiti work done.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take those and digitize them and color them up, and then get them printed on the side of my building so it looks like it's been all graffitied and stuff. It's gonna look pretty rad. So big shout out to him. Um, but yes, that I want to see the bog hog run. Good call on one has lights. Yep. So that's what it made me think of it because the lights on the bog hog are nice. I like the lights on
Oh,
the bog
so
hog
there's glitch possibilities with one of them.
because of the lights. No.
Total meltdown potential for one of them.
Yeah.
Monster Madness. What's both of your favorite trucks that you both own? So it
That's an
sounds like it's
unfair
two of our
question.
favorite trucks. Both of your favorite trucks that you both own. So we should get to choose two. I
Well,
hereby dub it based on the way it was worded.
well, see, the thing is, I hate that question because it has to go by category for me. I can't just pick one and say I love
But you got to
this
like
one.
one category more than another, which would help you also pick out one that you like potentially more than the other. Or pick one from each category. There's two
Well, yeah,
categories, slow
two
and fast.
categories, slow and fast. You go first.
All right. So, oh gosh, this is tough.
No, it's not.
It is because I love
No,
the
it's not.
LMT as a platform.
Yeah.
As a platform, I think it's one of the best. But is it my favorite of the monster trucks I own? Most usable, most that I use? Yeah. So I guess I would take the LMT currently
Yeah. Yeah.
and the SCX-24
Wow.
upgraded,
Upgrade.
heavily upgraded.
Heavily upgraded.
$600 SCX-24. So this is my favorite current SCX-24 that I own is my Creep.
Yeah.
And it's a FureTech Scythe chassis designed by Gamey RC.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of upgrades. FureTech brushless, awesome scramblers, flubber stuffers. Yeah.
You lost me at
Mofo
scramblers.
RC, awesome scramblers. Round is better. Round turns better too, by the way. So just saying. For you guys that are doing tight courses like we do. Scramblers. And then the LMT. My favorite one's the one that I got, the very first one from I call it the POS SUD.
Uh-huh.
It's the POS son of a digger
Yeah.
because it's destroyed from being run so much.
Yeah.
As my favorite of my LMTs.
Yeah.
What about you? I picked two. It was hard. I wanted to say Raminator, but I didn't because I really think that the LMT's a better truck.
This is a tough one, man, because it's like I don't know if I go by like looks or performance. So my
Always
favorite,
by what you use the most.
but I don't use any the most.
You run something more than others.
I run crawlers more than
Well,
everything
then choose
else.
a crawler or
But
two.
I trade or two. uh, so they all have their own purpose. It's a toss up between the Frankenwagon and my Lazarus truck.
I think they're both. Those would be the two I'd have chosen.
Well, that's just for the slow side. For the fast side, definitely my Kingsling. I mean, I like my Nomad, but that's like straight up just track stuff. And honestly, I'm really on the fence of selling my Baja Ray to get closer to getting that UDR because I just don't run the Baja Ray as much as I thought I was going to.
By Jimmy Rizzo.
I mean, I liked it and I still like it. I just don't have a chance to open it up very often. It's a fast truck. And the way I have it set up right now, I don't know, man. Like, but for sure, I think I have the most fun with my Kingsling. Like that's the one that brings a smile to my face. I don't know if it's just part of the like nostalgia of
Even over your other LMT?
yeah.
Okay. So I would
Yeah.
say somebody asked me or in their LMT Mega or Monster. I'd have chosen the Monster. I'd have chosen the Son of a Digger all day long. If I were to choose one of the two, just for usability, drivability. But yeah.
I haven't given my LMT a fair shake yet. So I'm
You're
running
2S'ing it, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've 3S'd it and it's just a rocket ship, but I don't have the stock setup in it. So
Oh yeah.
I have a Sidewinder 4 and an Amazon like 3600 kV or whatever in it. It's a rocket ship. Like it's a rocket ship for that. I like it. But and to be fair, I've broken 2 axles, and then the axles that I've replaced it with, the version 2 axles, haven't had any problems with them since then. So I kind of like it's kind of got a bad taste in my mouth for that. But the King Sling, it's just like raw power. Like I like how much like it's unstoppable. Like, like I really enjoyed.
It's very Instagrammable, unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah. So David Ferris is asking, Baja Ray any good? I'm kind of going through a short course phase. Baja Ray is not.
One.
Yeah, I would say Baja Ray really isn't short courseable for anything. It's more of a basher scaler type kind of truck.
It's too mixed. It doesn't thrive in either world.
No, but it's kind and it's not really a basher. It's just like a go fast and get some cool scale video of it. But stock, it's hard because 2S, when I first got it and I ran it in 2S, I was like, meh, like it's kind of cool. It donkey kicked really bad until I tuned it. And then put it in 3S. It's an absolute rocket ship that is uncontrollable on 3S. Like it's like, it's one of those where on the stock Spectrum setup, it's like going fast, rocket ship mode. Like, it's just like, whew, just see ya.
You're being too one-sided and all that here, Pablo. Try and be more fair across all platforms of RC.
Yeah. What do you mean? Because I'm talking just Losi right now?
I don't know. Jimmy Rizzo said all one-sided by.
What?
Yeah.
No way. I just talked about my elements. I love my elements. They're dope. I don't have, honestly,
fire, wind, earth, water. They're all good elements.
So the slash, okay, here's another thing. People are going to hate me for this. Maybe not. But we probably have the most fun in our backyard with our slashes. Hands down. Because they're stock.
How would people hate you for that?
People always bash on the slashes, the 2-wheel drive 12 turn slash. So we run them stock 12 turn in the backyard, door to door. It is the most fun thing ever. So much fun back there. I don't know. I have a Baja 110 built and like the Hammer Ray a lot more. Yeah, the Hammer Ray is tippy though.
Tippy. Can't corner it. It's like a king sling.
Yeah. Did you
Too
get
narrow?
one?
No, I drove Owen Rogers at Badlands.
Yeah, you can tune them out.
Grass, it was tippy.
Yeah, you can tune them out. PNW out here, Jameson, his is tuned really, really well. And his is PNW RC Life. His is tuned really well, like really, really well. And he can turn under power, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah. So
I had to run my Mad Van, Troy.
Ooh.
Mad Van takes 3S? Yes.
All day. All day.
I would run it on 3S. But yeah. Those things are fun. And it would be fun in this muddiness right now that we have.
That's the thing. I want to get more into, my kids can control the car now, where I can be like, hey, make it do this, and he can make it do that. Like, and so, and even if it's a fast, like,
Whip it.
yeah, like he's can take the Kingsling and just rip it. Like one of the videos that I did was literally like 85% him driving in the snow, in the snow, like just ripping it around, doing jumps, all that kind of stuff. Uh, getting it unsettled and then correcting it. So where I'm going with that is that I kind of want to get into bashing a little bit.
Mm.
Because it's like some of these cars that were running hard. I told him that actually today. I was like, hey, this summer, because he's not into wrenching at all. I'm like, this summer, we're going to drive faster and harder than we did the last couple of years. But you're going to
You
have
will
to,
fix it.
yeah, I'm like, but you're going to have to sit with me and fix these cars. I go, but you can drive as hard as you want. And he's like, okay. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. So
It's like, let's go. Let's
yep,
go, Dad.
yep,
Break
yep,
stuff.
yep. I know it's not going to be nice on my pocketbook, but
He can drive, man. Those videos you did of him at your track there. Ooh,
he's
he's
getting
quick.
there. He's getting there. Well, okay, so that's the other thing. I have that blow money. I have a short
Ooh.
course truck that I could get set up, but it's like a lot to get set up, man. I was looking at the price to get it all done. Like by the time I do, like I have the truck already. By the time I did servo, ESC, motor, tires, wheels, and body, and transponder, that's like another 500 just to get it going. Yeah.
Not a small number.
No. Josh Martin, thank you very much for the SCX6
Yes.
fund. Thank you for bringing that up because we got to talk about that again. So I was actually going to reach out to you about doing a telethon. And I don't know if we want our first 6 o'clock one to be a telethon, but to get to that point so we can start getting that ball rolling.
Yeah, it needs to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, we need to get that thing going so that way we can get it out to them. When is it? I have it written down somewhere, but it's in like May or June. Badlands.
Yeah, June 20th ish,
Okay. Yeah.
1820.
Yep. So yeah, so I gotta make some artwork for that. Haven't heard that phrase in a minute. Telethon. Well, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I gotta get that artwork up so people can some kind of like info artwork so they can see what we're talking about. I gotta figure that out. So hopefully maybe tomorrow. We'll see if I can do that.
You should have AI do it.
I tried. I was
They can
talking
do our artwork.
no. I was it
What
just
good
looks
is AI?
it's not good enough. I mean, it's like it just maybe for me because it's like I'm trying to tell it what to do and I get frustrated because it's not doing what I want it to do. And it's like, fine, I'll just draw it myself. Very dad of me. David Ferris says, I'm thinking of getting a Pro SC4 from AE. Mine rips. The Pro 4 ready to run rips. The ESC is a little of that touchiness like I was talking about with the Spectrum stuff where it's like big ramp. But it rips and it is very tunable. Hey, Troy Posty. Thank you very much. Let's get him on HCX6. So it's not for me. And it's not for Tony. So just so I can kind of talk about it more. Jeff Brown also says he's got the K10 body for us.
Yes, he mentioned that to me. I was going to mention that if we talked about it tonight.
Awesome.
Got a K10 body.
So the idea of what we're doing is we are getting a SCX6 honcho and designing a beam front end suspension pre-runner that we're then going to hand off to Operation 11 Charlie for their cause at Axial Fest Badlands. And so I'm going to go through the whole build series. I have not seen that type of vehicle done before as a SCX6, so I have no idea what I'm looking at to get in myself into. Scale Metal Supplies is already drawing stuff up for bigger tubing for the SCX6 for some tabs and things like that. So it's going to be a pretty rad truck. So we're looking at doing the KM or was not the KM10, the K10 body, a square body Chevy, and cutting the bed off of it and doing a back half trophy truck esque pre-runner. And we'll figure out some kind of cool idea for the artwork. Thank you, David Ferris. $5 for the build, Operation Charlie, 11 Charlie.
Every little bit helps.
Yep, 4-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive double arm. So I'm going to be doing a 2-wheel drive with the twin beam up front. So it should. I don't think I have the skills to do a 4-wheel drive twin beam. Not for this first one, anyway. It would take a lot of R&D to figure that out. But this first one would be pretty sweet. And from what I've seen, I have no experience with the SCX6, but from what I've seen, the V2, the Honcho with the second gear goes a little bit faster. That will make this truck a little bit more fun to whip. So is there a Cash App or something like that to donate? Yes. And you're welcome, Mr. Rogers.
C6RC.com on the bottom, there's a PayPal donation link, and everything donated through there is going to the fund for this month.
Yep.
Or until we fund it.
Yeah, and we're capping
anything that goes to it.
I don't we have it written down. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think we're capping it. Was it at 1,100 or 1,300 or something like that? So as soon as we hit that budget, and that was to cover
the body and that, but Jeff donated the body.
Okay. Yeah. And that was to cover taxes and all that kind of stuff. So
yep. Not trying to make money, and metal and stuff, some of those supplies that you have to buy out of pocket.
Yeah, I'm getting help from Scale Metal Supplies on that, but for most of it, I think so, or some of it. Well, actually, he'll probably do the tabs. I'm going to do all the tubing, or I'm going to do solid rod for that because it's a big truck. Can't do tubing. We don't have the Honcho yet. Nope. We are waiting to fund it before we pull the trigger on it. I was wondering about that. What's your take on that? Should I do, because I want to do a full video series on that build, is it appropriate to take it out and do a benchmark drive on it and then do the tear it apart?
I think it is.
Okay. I didn't want to, it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I definitely need to drive it after I build it to make sure it works. And
I mean, yeah, we don't want to do straight damage to it, but it definitely needs, I mean, it'll help it have its, anything that does happen to it, it's just going to be part of the ownership of it. Like, this was built and tested and
yep
was part of this whole series. So
so
I don't see that being an issue.
Troy says he wants one to tow cars. I want the ladies at work to fail in tug of war with a toy. That would be awesome. Yep. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be pretty neat. Beam front and heavy. Bet it's going to handle like a real truck. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I would kind of like to see about getting a bigger powertrain for it just because of how heavy it's going to be. But I think we just keep it stock and let someone else do that change to it. Because the beam front, I mean, that's going to be all steel, and that's going to be a pretty heavy front end. So I got to figure out a way. And the rear end, maybe what we do is we figure, and Spec RC is throwing down custom CNC wheels for this project too. He already agreed to that. So that's going to be rad. But I was going to say, I got to figure out, maybe I should do 2 spares in the back just to get the weight outside the back axle, so it'll
That's
sit
gonna be
way back.
wicked, man.
Those wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, those wheels are going to be sick. So I'm not sure which ones he's going to do, but we'll see. So, yep, should handle like a real truck though. The other reason that I like the Honcho is because it comes with like the tires for it. I think are more appropriate to a pre-runner. Should look cool.
Hey, while we're talking, guys, think about. I want to name my. I'm calling them Pine Tree something. But what would be a cool name for these? Because they kind of have the pine tree look to them. Maybe not pine tree, but that's where I was thinking pine tree something, flexors, or not that they're going to be for sale, but I'd still like to have a name for them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right.
I have to go use the little gentleman's room over there. If you guys have any final things that you want us to discuss before we jump off,
throw them up in the comments. I'll be reading
throw
through
them up in the comments. He'll be here, and then I'll be back, and I can answer anything too. Also about the LMT, if you guys want to know anything about that, from what I can know, anything you want to see happen, let's just talk. And if we missed anything in the comments, I saw Renee came in here. Some other people. Troy, thank you. New Zealand. David Ferris. There's some popping in here.
Tree sap. I like it.
Tree sap. Oh, tree sappers.
Yep. Yep.
Tree sap flexors. Something. Xmas flexors. I like that. Christmas tree flexors.
There you go. I like it. So one thing that we haven't touched on real quick was the Machete that came out by Red Cat. I don't know what my thoughts are on that. I think it looks cool. I think the proportions are kind of crazy. They look like it can run upside down, which is different. But it looks like a pretty rad little truck. I would probably opt for the 4S version versus the 6S. What about doing an RC raffle to fund the project? Yeah, I thought about that too. It just seems like it's for what Tony and I have going on right now. It might be a little bit much to do that. I guess we're kind of doing the same amount of work, just getting donations for it. Plus, people have already donated for it, so we're kind of ship has sailed on that one. And it'd be hard to quantify, what people have paid versus how many raffle entries they have, that kind of thing. Notice that it looks like it could flip like the old Tyco cars as a kid. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. But it looked pretty stable. Man, I think it looked like it was digging hard on the concrete, which was cool. So, but I think something like that would be neat. I've got my eye on that kind of basher type vehicle that I've been looking at lately. Trying to get into that world a little bit. So I was trying to talk to Tony about his Mojave, because that's kind of a cool balance between scale and basher. I love the idea and the realistic sound of the SCX6 build. You gonna grab footage of the building? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. So in the next weeks, we talked about this taco chop project that I'm doing. In the next weeks, I'm going to be building three, maybe 4 rigs that are a lot of shop fab stuff. And so we're going to do a bunch of those type of videos, one a week for that. So David Ferris says raffles have legality issues, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So there's that. The trailing arm part of it, I was thinking about that and wondering, I think the Rift, I have to look at it, but I think the Rift trailing arms are the same length as the links on the SCX6, but I'm not sure. If not, I'll probably have to fabricate something for that. That was also my other concern, is that I don't know what shocks I could use that's going to support that kind of weight and give that kind of long travel. Thanks, Matt Rogers. Tony will see that, ping him. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of R&D in this project. So I hope we can make it feasible. I mean, That's what I do every day at work. We kind of make things happen through fab and design. So I will give it my best go, but it's going to be pretty rad. I think I might do just to start the project. I might make some large scale jack stands, because it's going to have to live in my shop on a table for a while. And it's a big truck, so I'm not going to be moving it back and forth. But Matt Rogers, since he sent you a PayPal,
$50, man.
gracias.
We're getting there, man. I'm got to get the notes here going. I got to add all these, see where we're sitting. I think we're getting close to getting something in hand.
Nice. That'd be sweet. Yeah. So I was just brought up the question about shocks.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't know how to, I'm a little concerned on, is there a shock long enough available? And
we might have to clean them up, but what about the ones off my Raminator
for the back? Yeah.
So I have some new ones.
You have a Rift, right? Yeah, you have a Rift. Are the Rift, when you get a chance, not tonight,
they're not that big.
No. I'm talking about the trailing arms. Are the trailing arms the same length as the links on the SCX6?
I mean, those can always be extended with threaded rod.
They can. I don't know how they're built. I can make a set of trailing arms for it. There's that.
Oh, so I only have the ones from Vidavon. But if you took what I would do is I would take the LMT rod ends. Those things are massive, and use those.
Troy is asking what I do for work. So I call it a sign shop, but we do a lot more than signs. A lot of custom design and build stuff. So I've been a custom design build guy ever since I can remember. It was kind of my first job doing that kind of thing. My first job out of school was it was called Specialty Fab, for a company that sculpted and casted and built stuff for Disney. And then my second job out of school was designing and building cars that were like Monster Garage type cars. And then it kind of went crazy from there. So I've got some tools and some stuff that some old school skills that I can do some things with. So Matt Mass says he has a bunch of new takeoffs. Just let me know what we need. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Trailing arms from what size? I mean, the SCX6 is huge, so
yeah, I kind of have a feeling I'm gonna have to make my own.
The shocks, the same shocks that are on the Bari build, would probably work really good actually on the SCX6, because when we put them up, when I did that comparison and size video, those.
What did he use?
So because you're not doing trailing arms, right? The shocks go to the axles on the SCX6.
I was going to do trailing arms on it.
Oh yeah, because it's you have to custom
runner. Yeah.
Oh, those are awesome though. Those are like the HPI Baja shocks would be awesome on it.
Okay.
So go to King. It's the same guy that makes the Raminator stuff. They've got the King shocks, something King. They're not as good, but they're basically HPI Baja 5B.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Buggy. But now that that's back out, you could probably get the real ones from them. HPI. Yeah. Those shocks would be, I think those would be the ones to get. Okay. That's what's on that Bari build.
Yeah.
I'll measure them for you if you want. I think the extension on would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll have to, yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I think is going to be tough about this build, is it's going to be like reinventing the wheel on a lot of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
raffles have legality issues. Yeah, that's something we don't have to worry about. Operation 11 Charlie is a nonprofit, and so it's different. It's a donation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just doing a raffle, or not even a raffle. It's a most of the stuff that they do at those events is a God, what is it? Like an auction. Call out how much it's worth.
Yeah.
To somebody, and they bring in some big bucks.
Yeah.
Especially if Reef is there. He outbid me on something. So yeah.
I'm hoping this one brings in some good stuff for them.
People are very generous.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
So, and dude, the last one we were at USTE, the guy that built the truck that they were raffling bought it back for like a huge sum above what everybody else paid. Like he wanted it back.
That's what I'm worried
You're not
about.
allowed to come. However, Axial Fest news. I don't know if I told you.
You didn't tell me. We've been fighting. We've been sleeping in separate
fighting.
rooms.
In a spat. You've been on the couch, bro. I can take the bed. No, the SCX24 comp is going on. So if you guys love, or there's going to be something cool at Axial Fest Badlands. So if you like SCX24s,
that's what
you should probably think about getting tickets to come and showing them how many people love the SCX24, because there's going to be some special stuff going on for you guys there. So
shoot, that's what I have to do. I don't have any axial crawlers except for the one I'm building for you.
I do. You can drive that one there.
I'm not gonna drive. That's all you, buddy.
Well, I've got other axials. They're just stockish.
Stockish. Stock.
I've got my Jeep SCX 10.3. I've got the Capra. I've got two 1.9 Wraiths. But there's going to be some fun stuff to do with your really cool little ones that I saw you doing your posse crawl with.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty sweet, huh?
So, yeah. So, if people are still here, I've been waiting a while to hear this news.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
There's different people that do different events there. So, the Horizon RC Fest also is going to be happening for 24 scale. Yep.
Nice.
Not as compy as what will happen at Badlands. It's going to be more, there'll be a place there and you can do a quick comp. But it's not like the ones that they do at Badlands. So,
did you hear that? I thought my dog just started barking. That was weird.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That'll be exciting. Yeah.
For you little truck lovers, there's some little truck loving going on.
That's why we gotta make a t-shirt. Little truck love.
So it has to be SCX24 based. So to get in, and because you got to go through some stuff.
What does that mean?
It has to have an SCX24 transmission and axles. So you can't be running
brass axles.
It could be, but they got to be SCX24 based. They can't be like a different companies.
Okay.
That's what they did for the other stuff.
Okay.
Like I was running Hot Racing Wraith transmissions on my stuff, and that was fine because it was based off of their platform. It's designed, I mean, it's the exact same, but in metal, you know?
Well, yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, what are the rules for running a 10th scale there too? Like,
they can't go on the trail if they're not axial based.
Right. But I mean,
you change the chassis out, whatever. Needs a transmission and axles.
Okay. So all I have to do is find some axles. I've got a 10.3 tranny, and I got an SMT 10 tranny.
Just get a skid plate and if you can show. Because the SMT 10 would be based on the SCX 10 2-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. 3 gear.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I got to figure that out. Hopefully there's a concourse and everyone else has ugly trucks and your truck takes home some hardware.
Oh, there's a concourse there. We'll have to get it in. I won't drive it before then because I make messes.
I think that's okay. That's the thing. These trucks,
That
like,
truck looks better dirty, probably.
yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna look way better with some
Yeah.
grime and some uh some grit
But
involved
yeah,
in it.
so like this truck would work. I mean, it's SCX10 based with the transmission and axles,
Okay,
drive shafts, links. They're all upgrades for it, but it's based on
sure.
their platform. I mean, you can see so
Yep.
it's from their lineage.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
evolved from Go Mariners.
yes. Yes, it's that time. So, okay, there's a
Anyway,
movie.
I just want to throw that tease out. And Ken, I will reach out to you if you're still watching the Shop Mini RC. I just heard back on the vendor stuff.
Nice.
So that was all tied into the emails I've been sending. And I just sent like another one, like, hey, like I need to know, like, I got to make plans. I got to put on stuff on the calendar. And so I heard back and they answered both questions, which is great.
Nice. Not RC related, but driving related. Watched a movie, and it was a really good movie that I've never heard of before. And it's on Disney Plus, I think, or Netflix. Learning How to Drive in the Rain. Have you seen that movie or heard of
Nope.
it? Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a tearjerker. It's about a dog and a wife and driving cars. Like,
Hmm.
but
It's
it's
good though. It's on
uh,
Netflix.
I don't know if it's Netflix. It was not Flying Cars.
Have you seen Flying Cars though?
Yes, I've seen Flying
It was
Cars.
good though, wasn't it?
You know,
It
it
was a little
was.
weird. Like the girl thing was like at the
It
hobby shop. That
it
was weird.
it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you did not know how old she was.
Well, and it made me feel like when I
Felt
first
too
start
young.
and when I first got in back into the hobby, it was like you're looking for everywhere to get that fix, and it was like yeah, it's kind of like that too. So
Dude, the whole YouTube aspect of it and like going out on lunch breaks,
I know,
straight hit home, dude. I
I
was like,
know,
I feel dirty. I
I
feel
know.
dirty. I feel ashamed.
Yep,
There's a whole lot of things. I was trying to jump high. I wanted to jump my house.
yep, yep,
I, I,
yep.
I felt what that guy was going through. I didn't get the side chick, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it was here too. Because
sheesh.
when I first had my track here, we would come home on lunch, and back then I had a couple like intern helpers at the shop, and I bought one of them an RC car as a bonus, and we came back here.
Yeah, I did that to my guy that was working for me doing video stuff. He came out a couple times and helped me film some things for like bigger releases.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, hey, dude, here's your Christmas present. It's an RC car. We went out with it one time.
Yep. We would
He,
come.
yeah, he had fun with mine for a few times, so I thought he would like it. I
Yeah.
don't think he liked it nearly as much as I did, and
Right.
I don't know what he ever did with that other than
Yep.
drive it the one time we filmed that. And we did an unboxing on his car,
Nice.
and then never saw it again. But bunk. That
we used
dude.
to we used to come back here because my shop's 3 minutes away, literally from my house. So
Yeah.
we would come back here on lunchtime, set up some gates, and crawl the gates for lunch, and then go back. I'd grill up hot dogs. It was good.
Yeah.
We're Apple
Matt
TV.
Rogers, have a good evening. Thank you, man. Let me give a quick thank you shout out to a bunch of people in case people are checking out. I saw
Yeah.
Troy post he was going to. So again, thank you to Josh Martin, Troy Posty, David Ferris, Matthew Rogers tonight. Josh Martin, not his first time. He's done it several times now. I think it's his third donation to it.
Nice.
That's what it
Thank
looks
you.
like. So thank you, dude. Yeah.
Very awesome. Where are we at? We're at 2 hours.
Yes.
So
We can wrap it up.
So I think the hour and a half time is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
As long as we stay on track, and then we just have like the cutoff kind of a thing, and I have my stuff locked and loaded so I can shoot you in the baby maker with my BB gun, because I'm going to get it in every single time. Just the tip. There you go.
That came out wrong. That came out. I'm shutting this down. This gotta end. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Talk your face off.
Don't do
Pablo.
drugs. Eat tacos.